Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Happy Sunday. This is Rob the Mad Hatter from the biggest show, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Mr. Dr. Dan Kidd. Yesterday was pretty rough. How you doing?
It was like sandpaper, baby.
Oh,
it was like sandpaper. Hey.
God.
It's like, it's like trying to use one of them safety razors with no shaving cream and no water.
Oh.
It was bad. And what's crazy is like the only play that really worked for me. I mean, we had a few. I thought the day was looking up when we managed to push on the over of that, Toronto-Baltimore game. And, we obviously hit on the Yankees over. And we got Seattle to work, which is like the evil genius play of the day, which everybody was hating me on. And that's the only one that worked. But, I took some mind eraser shots last night, drank a bunch of bourbon, baby. I'm erasing that memory, and I'm moving on today to making more money.
Oh, good for you, man. Yeah, me too. You know what? I'm looking at my record in the last, this week. Dude, you know what? You and I last weekend came on and ripped it up. We only had 2 losses. This week, man, has been one of the worst weeks I've had yet, man. Just
that
absolute
means it can only
brutal.
get better, baby.
That's right, baby. You know what? Hey, listen, I'm a very big positive thinker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking forward to taking a look at the card and making some magic happen, because that's how we roll. I feel like the Brewers right now, kid. Well, no, let me compare myself to the Detroit Tigers, actually. You know what I'm saying? They're just those kind of streaks. And, hey, you know what? If you're a gambler, a handicapper, whatever the hell you are, you're going to go through this in baseball. It is what it is. So, you know what? Yeah. You just got to be positive, keep your chin up, and look at the card and keep popping. That's all I got to say about that, kid.
And there is some value on this card today. And you know what, kid? I'm just so excited to make a huge underdog play that I got to jump right into the NBA before we get to the diamond.
Oh, okay, man. So we got the NBA Finals tonight, guys. We got my boy, Mr. LeBron James. Hopefully he doesn't expose himself on national TV. And he's going to go into the Golden State Warriors tonight, kid. Let me just see what the line is right now. We got anywhere from 8 to 8.5 with an under-over of 195 to 195.5. Now, Golden State is minus 370, and you can actually get up my boy at plus 350, kid. Dan, you're saying you got an underdog here. Talk to me about what you're looking at.
LeBron James is going to single-handed. The Cleveland LeBrons will win this game today.
You think my boy is going to come in and lay it the smack it down?
I don't think it's going to be a smackdown. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to come in and blow anybody out of the arena. But I do think he's going to have himself another one of those nutty games. Hey, I know you're a little older than me, kid, but like same thing. I grew up watching MJ in these situations, right? And I don't want to go off on some comparison here, but this is the craziest thing I've ever seen from one man. Just absolute will. And I know what happened last game. They looked pretty bad. That's not going to happen again. Look, I called this last time. I'm calling it again. You're going to see LeBron James 35-plus points, triple-double, just go off. I mean, he's going to have a repeat performance.
All right, man. Hey, we'll see where it lands. I hope, I already cashed that. I went crazy on that over 5.5. So big ups to my man Mike once again for turning me on to that this week. Oh, you know what?
That was a great play.
You know what? Actually, dude, now that I think about it, that was a pretty big play. So, that kind of offset how bad my week has been. So, hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Here's my thing. Whenever you got the greatest player in any sport, I don't care if it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever, at plus 285 to win a game?
Kid, I got plus 350 on my end, kid.
Yo, there you go. If you shopping it, you get it plus 350. That's insane. That's completely insane. That would be like Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, and all his receivers got hurt. You're still gonna put plus 350 on that dude. Like, I can't not put plus 350 on LeBron.
Didn't you?
I can't not do it.
Don't you got him at the series? Don't you have him for the series too?
Yeah, I have the series too. I got it when they were down. That plus 385.
Nice, kid. Nice.
Plus 385 in the series. So I am already invested in this, and I know I could just fall back and just, hedge out on Golden State. But that's not the way I'm doing it. Look, this is the way I really see it. I think Cleveland's defense will step up a little more today. And just once, let me get a game from J.R. Smith. I mean, look, I watched him and he made me pull my hair out for years here in New York. But he can go 2 for 15 one night and go 13 for 15 the next night.
Sure.
If he does that, and Dellavedova, keeps up the play, and again, LeBron's got to be just the engine, the alternator, the steering wheel. I mean, everything. Whatever he needs to do at a certain time, he's going to do. And I think they pull it off.
All right, man. Big ups to everybody that's retweeting the show today. Got a couple of people here on the line. I got It's Woots all the way in Australia. I've got Christos, Direct Sports Solutions. Good morning. I got Zay. I've got C. Rodriguez Jr. Let's see who else. Jordy Betts is on here. Jordy Best, I'm sorry. Vegas Girl 92661. Got my man Boston Boy who won Freaky Fridays the other day. I got my man Eddie E. Good morning, people. How's everybody doing out there, kid? Had a great night last night, though, Dan. You know what? I did not play the Dodgers. I fell back from it. You know what I'm saying? I looked at just the way the day was going. I say, you know what? I'm gonna go out tonight, man. I'm just not in the mood to be playing. Kid, I would have kept eating crow, man.
Yeah, no, hey, man, I was the same way, and I was telling you the story. I went out and. My brother is he took a good job, a few hundred miles away. So we were kind of just partying at the house all day, celebrating him. He got a good new job. I went out, I bought him a nice watch, came back, did the whole gift thing. And I'm sitting there looking at this crazy, terrible day I'm having. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to lay it down all on the Dodgers. I'm going to lay it all down. And then I had the little voice of the Mad Hatter in my head just, don't chase.
Yes.
Don't chase. I you know what? I poured myself another glass of bourbon. I closed the computer. I shut my phone down. And I sat there and I just and good thing because that offense just looked pathetic last night. Ian Kennedy managed to shut him down. So thank God for that. And man, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it back today because the first game of the day that starts at a crazy time of 1:08. I got to get right into this because I'm loving this game, kid.
Oh, okay, man. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Let me just pull it up real quick. For some reason, my phone has got they did a new update on it. I couldn't see my texts yesterday. It was kind of weird, so I can't pull up what the game. You got the pictures, right?
Yeah, I got everything. So
okay, fantastic.
This game that starts at 1:08. We got Cleveland at Detroit. Cleveland's got Kluber on the mound. 3-7 with a 3.53. Detroit's got Simon on the mound. 6-3 with a 2.76.
Okay.
And let me get the lineup on Sports Better's TV.
Kid, last time I took Kluber, I lost.
Dude, that's why we're not taking no Kluber.
Really?
Dude, and I'm going to tell you why in a second, right after I get this lineup. So Sunday, here we go. Detroit is plus 121, and we are unloading on Detroit.
Really?
Here's why. Corey Kluber against Detroit. 342 batting average against. On-base percentage of 389.
Wow.
Giving up 10 home runs, a triple, 8 doubles, 53 hits, and 155 at-bats with only 37 strikeouts. 11 walks on top of that as well.
Does that go back? How far does that go back?
That's 155 at-bats against the starting lineup of Detroit today.
Wow.
155 at-bats, so that's a quarter. That's a quarter of a season of total at-bats, if you think about it.
All right. Well, taking a look at a couple of trends here. Cleveland is 2-4 straight up in the last 6. Detroit is 4-10 straight up in the last 14. But you've been pretty good with this Detroit Tigers team when you take them, man.
Here's the thing. Miguel Cabrera can win this game single-handedly. His numbers against Kluber are ridiculous. Ridiculous. 33 at-bats, 18 hits, 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 2 walks, a .545 batting average and a .571 on base. Cespedes has a .400 batting average and a .400 on base. Even Nick Castellanos, a .333 batting average.
Okay.
You have J.D. Martinez, .417. You got guys that are just destroying this dude.
Unbelievable. Kluber's been pretty dope, too, so that's surprising.
Kluber has been okay as of late, but just okay. I mean, if you look at his last 3 starts, at Seattle, 7 hits and 3 earned. And against that lineup, that sucks.
Yeah.
At Kansas City, he did go 8 innings, but he gave up 9 hits and 4 earned runs.
Damn.
And then again, at home against Seattle, 7 innings, 7 hits, and 2 earned. Detroit is on a roll right now again. You know what I mean? Like they're looking. That offense is looking like it's ready to just really bust out. Kluber's kryptonite is Detroit. Simon has been good as of late, except for that one game against Oakland. But shut out Houston and only gave up a run against at the White Sox last time out. Dude, Detroit at plus money. I'm like all over this.
I mean, plus money at home, and Simon hasn't been that bad either. So, hey, Dan, what?
Simon's been good, man.
I wish you the best of luck with that. I'll talk to you later on about that, but we got a couple hours before that one starts. We got about 3 hours, so I got to do some homework on it. But I mean, it sounds like you did a lot of homework already, man.
Yeah, I saw this game, and I've always known that Kluber's kryptonite has been Detroit, and he also hasn't been very good this year. So, I'm looking at a lineup that's still one of the best in baseball, even if they're sporadic. And you got to just take that and run with it.
All right, man. So, what's the next one you got on the ticket there, Dan?
All right, so the next one we got up is the Chicago White Sox at the Tampa Bay Rays, anywhere from 125 to 134 with an over-under of 6.5.
My boy's on the mound.
Yes, he is. You got your boy Sale, 6-2 with a 304 against Tampa Bay with Carnes, 3-3 with a 386. I love your boy, but I can't do it.
It's tough, right?
It's real tough. I mean, it's real tough.
I know. I'm looking at it. I mean, he's been pretty good lately, man.
Oh, it's not that. It's just that offense.
I know.
I know. Carnes hasn't been that bad either. I mean, the over under, if it was at 7 or 7.5, I'd probably go under. I've gotten bit too many times on that 6.5.
Oh, tell me about it, dude.
So definitely. I'm not going there again. And Carnes, the thing too is, his last 2 starts were both against the Angels, one on the road, one at home, and he got pretty blown up. But, he also shut out and 1 hit the Orioles to start before those. So you don't know how he's going to come out. I mean, and then Sale is Chris freaking Sale, and he's given up 1 run in his last 3 starts over 15, 20, 22 and a 2/3 innings. He's given up 1 run and struck out 39 guys.
Wow. He's been. And you know what? Tampa Biscuit, man. I mean, it's not like their offense is dope either. You know what I'm saying?
No, their offense is brutal. Their offense is brutal. But, sometimes I worry when you have an ace facing a team that is just kind of garbage. Maybe he takes it off the gas a little bit. I don't expect Sale to do that. I lean the White Sox, but I just... With that much juice out there, I just can't do it. I mean, because their offense could also get shut out, and you could see something, 1-0 where the first run is scored in the 12th inning.
Yep, exactly.
So I'm just gonna stay away from the Pepto today. I already ate enough Tums yesterday.
Oh, tell me about it, man. It was pretty brutal, man. But let me just take a look here. I'm waiting for my my website to pull up here. But that's 6.5, though, man. I know what you're saying. It's like, because even if you get you got a 2-2 ball game going into the 8th inning or something like that. You only got a couple more. You get a run each. Now you're done. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got 3-3, and you're like, oh,
6.5 runs. I mean, even looking at it yesterday, I couldn't have been more wrong about this. But And the Phillies scored 3 runs off the Garrett Cole yesterday.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
And they have the worst offense in baseball. And even though they still lost because they suck, you know, they still managed to blow the run line because anybody can get gotten to. And, you know, sometimes it's not you. You got to remember, I mean, it's not like Chicago's defense is that good either. So, you know, you give up an error, you know, a sac fly or, you know, you hit the guy over in a sac fly, and all of a sudden you get a run here, a run there, and your 6.5 is blown. 7.5, I'm all over it.
I feel you. Maybe we buy it up to 7, Dan.
Yeah, even then, I think you're looking pretty good at 7. I think if you do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep it moving from there. But Chris Sale, I mean, like you said, he's been lights out lately. The Tampa Biscuit Rays are 5 games over 500, man.
Yeah. And what's really funny, I say, if you watch that game, you had all these guys from Chicago that invaded the ballpark, all wearing their Blackhawks jerseys.
I know,
which was hilarious.
That is funny. Yeah. But all right, guys, we'll keep it moving from that. But I'm taking a look at a possible. I'm definitely looking at a no-score first inning here, brother.
I know you are.
I got killed on those yesterday too. I mean, thank God they're light plays, but you know, the total's going over in, believe it or not, 4 of the last 5 Tampa Bay games and 4 of the last 5 Chicago White Sox games on the road. And when these two teams play each other, the total's going over in 5 of the last 7. Oh my God! Just seems like the offense is, you know, they don't want to show up against anybody else but each other.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Exactly.
All right, man.
I'm just gonna stay away from the stomach ache there.
All right, I got you. I don't blame you.
The next one we got on the ticket though is the Atlanta Braves at my New York Mets, which just I know you were happy because you had that, but man, did I just want to punch myself in the face yesterday.
Oh, tell me about it. I know they were winning 3-2 in the 9th. Gave it up.
Yeah. You know, you cannot in this league when you have a routine double play ball hit to your major league shortstop. He cannot bobble the ball. I don't care if it's not ruled an error because he got it out. That blew the game. I mean, you had Familia who couldn't come in to pitch. He was on paternity leave because he just had the birth of his kid, and what else can I say? I mean, it was a terrible disaster for the Mets, and the line today doesn't make any sense to me. We're at anywhere from 121 to 128 on the money line with an over under of 7.5. We have Dylan G for the Mets, 0-3 with a 4.5, going up against Mike Fultonowicz, 3-2 with a 4.72.
Is that how you pronounce that, Dan? Fultonowicz?
That's the way I would pronounce it.
You know what? It's funny, man. You know what? Because even the announcers, I was watching a game yesterday. It was the Toronto Blue Jays and the Sox, and even the announcers get the names wrong sometimes. He was I mispronounced that one.
Well, you know what happens is when you have especially lesser guys, those lesser guys in the team don't go to the announcers and say, "Hey, buddy, this is how you say my name." So then when they get big, they're like, "Oh, say it this way," because they got all the money and the power. But here's the thing, man. Dylan G has no right being favored.
I'm looking at it. I mean, the Atlanta Braves are so-so. I get it, but I agree with you, Dan.
Yeah,
Mets minus 130.
Fultonowicz has been bad too, though.
Yeah, Mets minus 130 has kind of got me scratching my head a little bit. Probably just because they've been kind of dope at home.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good home team. They're a very good home team, and I get it. And like, G can't be as bad as he's been. And you got to remember his last start out, he only went an inning and 2/3 in a relief outing. I don't know, man. I mean, I hope not, but I could see him getting blown up today.
All right, man. Well, the total's going over in 5 of the last 6 with the Atlanta Braves and 5 of the last 6 with the Mets. So these overs are starting to come true,
Yeah, that over of 7.5 looks pretty good. I'm not going to lock it in yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Next one I got on a ticket here is a team that broke our hearts, man. The Colorado Rockies could not get it done yesterday. Colorado at Miami. Colorado has De La Rosa on the mound. Miami has Dan Herron. Miami minus 140 with an under-over of 7.5. Dan, what you got here?
Dude, Giancarlo Stanton has just... I mean, he's in my nightmares.
I know.
I mean, dude, do you know he is on pace to hit 59 home runs?
It's unbelievable. Unreal.
I mean, look, say what you want about Bonds, if you care about steroids or if you don't, but this is the best pure power hitter I might ever have witnessed in person. I mean,
Really?
look, I saw Bonds play, but I mean, it's like the same type of thing. It's like the same type of thing. I mean, this guy just hits lasers, he hits bombs, I mean, just mammoth shots, and he just continues to drive that offense. I mean, it's like a one-man show at times, which is why the Marlins are no good, right? Because every guy's going to have an 0 for 3, 0 for 4 day. I'm staying away from this game after what happened yesterday. I couldn't have been more sure on the Rockies, and today I do lean Miami, but not at minus 140. I'm not going to touch it.
No, you can't take that. You can't take that. I mean, I'm surprised we even got involved in that yesterday, to be honest with you.
I saw some things there that looked really good, man, and I just...
Yeah. Man, you know what? Some of the stuff that I've been looking at, man, it's like, if I've seen that situation over and over again, I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Because I've been successful at it. So, hey.
Well, it's like those AL East overs, and we pushed on one and one on the other. It's like you got to keep taking them until you get proved otherwise.
Yes, definitely, man. Definitely. So, all right, we'll keep it moving from there. What's the next game you got on the ticket, brother?
Yeah, so the next game we got is
AL East.
Toronto Blue Jays at the Red Sox.
All right.
The line from 1 to 12 and over under of 8.5. And the pitchers for that game we have Estrada for Toronto, 3-3 with a 3.78, and we have Rodriguez for the Red Sox, 2-0 with a .44.
Damn, who's he pitched against?
Yeah, so I'm following up Eduardo Rodriguez's stats right now. Remember, this kid's only 22.
Yeah.
He's only 22. He's the lefty thrower. Venezuela guy, which, if you know about Venezuelan pitchers, that's a crazy thing, dude. He's started 3 games and he's been masterful. Okay, first game on the road at Texas. 7 2/3, 3 hits, no runs.
Wow.
Versus Minnesota at home, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. At Baltimore, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He's given up 1 run in his first 3 starts of his major league career.
Well, Texas and Minnesota, it's not like their bats are, silent at all.
Neither Baltimore, neither.
Yeah, Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's up and down.
Baltimore.
Oh, at Baltimore. Okay, yeah, because you're right. You're right. They're let's see. Baltimore's ranked 9th in the league with runs scored. Minnesota 11th, and Texas number 3. So you got 3 of the top 11 teams there that he faced and did his work, man. So
20 thirds innings and 1 run and 14 strikeouts. So here's the thing, though. This ain't the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to say that.
I feel crazy. I still feel like I have to ride the 8.5.
You feel like taking the over again, huh?
I do, because look, every rookie pitcher is going to have a start where it gets blown up. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
And Estrada hasn't been great. Like I said, 3-3 with a 3.78. But how do you not keep riding this over?
Taking a look at this, I mean, Toronto has just been lights out, man, with the bats. You know what I mean? So, you know what? I'll take a look at that later on, Dan. I'm not.
Do you have the Blue Jays versus left-handers?
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
I have on base percentage. I got runs per game. I've got batting average. I got the whole package here, but I do not have
that's one thing I got to look at. But I am going to ride the over again. I know we pushed on it yesterday, but these AL East matchups, especially like I said, a rookie, and he's been lights out. I expect him to get some lunch served to him today.
All right, man. We'll keep it moving. I mean, like you said, I mean, he's had 3 of the top 11 offenses to go against, and his ERA's been dope. But now you're going to bring in the number 1 team offensively in the league. So, It's not like he's been dealt any any easy road by any means. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be pretty interesting to look at. Let's see what this kid's really made of.
Yeah. Fun game to watch.
All right. So, speaking of the AL East, we got another one here. We got the New York New York Stanks coming into the Baltimore Orioles. New York Stanks have Adam Warren on the mound. Baltimore has Mike Wright, and I don't have a line. Do you?
I have Yanks anywhere from plus 108 to 115. Over under of 8.5. I am going over here again as well.
Wow.
I mean, Warren 4-4 with a 3.64 going up against Wright, 2-1 with a 2.96. Both these teams keep scoring, and like I said, I mean, prove me wrong, and then I'll stop taking them. Prove me wrong, and I know Adam Warren's been okay as of late.
Yeah.
And I just, like I said, prove me wrong and I'll stop taking them. But I think, you got to understand Mike Wright's come back down to earth. He has a 2.96 ERA, but his last 2 starts, he gave up 3 earned to the White Sox in 5 innings.
Wow, and the White Sox stink, yeah.
And then 5 runs, 8 hits against Houston in 5 innings. I think the Yankees can get to him, and, the bats have to. That's pretty much how they're going to win. I'm on the over.
I'm kind of feeling the Stanks, man.
Yeah, I
kind of feeling the Stanks. I don't know if I'm going to take it yet, guys, but I'm looking at it and just looking at a couple of trends here. I mean, the last 2 games have been kind of freak games, and every time I take the Stanks, I lose, guys. So just, you know what? Hey, you might want to even fade me on that. I don't know, but I'm just saying that, taking a look at this. I mean, the last 2 games have been kind of freak occurrences here, but the Stanks are number 2 in road ERA allowed in the league, bro. 3.9 runs, and they are number 2 as far as offense. They slipped into the number 2 spot, scoring 4.62 runs a game. On the road is a little bit over 4, but
it's the thing. The thing with taking the Yankees is the bullpen scares me a lot.
Yeah,
right now, if they can get to a 9th inning, it's a lock. But they're gonna have a hard time getting there with the injuries and just the ineffectiveness of the pen.
I feel you, man. I feel you. All right, so we'll keep it moving, but I'm kind of leaning Stanks as an underdog, man. Next game we got on the ticket, we got the Philadelphia Phillies coming into the Pittsburgh Pirates. Philly has Cole Hamels on the mound. Pittsburgh has A.J. Burnett. Pittsburgh minus 150 with an under-over of 7. Dude, the Phillies got to win at some point, man.
That's why I'm taking them today.
Oh, no. You taking the Phillies?
Yeah.
Whoa, man.
At plus 140 with Cole Hamels on the mound.
Cole Hamels is dope.
Thing is, he's 5-5 with a 3.19. And I know Burnett is 6-2 with a 2.11. But the thing is, the Phillies can't hit against anybody. They couldn't hit against my grandmother. So having a dope pitcher in A.J. Burnett, okay, whatever, but you got to remember, the Phillies know A.J. Burnett very well. They know A.J. Burnett very well. And Cole Hamels got kind of rocked in his last outing at Cincinnati. I don't see that happening again. And like you said, they have to win at some point.
Yeah, I mean, dude, in the last 3 games, they scored 4 runs total.
Yeah, but they scored 3 yesterday.
Yeah. Good point.
They scored 3 yesterday. If they, I know what you're saying, but A.J. Burnett has not been lights out either. I mean, yeah, his last start at home against Milwaukee was good, 5 hits, 1 earned. But before the 2 starts before that, he hasn't gone into the 6th inning and give 8 hits and 4 earned against at San Diego and at San Francisco. Man, I at plus 140, I got to go Cole Hamels here. It's going to be a light play. I mean, literally maybe like a half unit play.
Okay.
I'm not talking about going crazy, but a plus 140, Cole Hamels is too good to be at. And I know the Phillies are that bad. That's why, right? Anything happens to Cole Hamels, he gives up 4 runs, the game's over. Realize that. But look, I want the Phillies to keep losing more than anybody because of our bet.
Yeah, I know, right?
but they're gonna win today.
All right. So you're feeling that the doggies are going to be barking, kid. So hey,
I'm feeling it, man.
I hope you cash that, man. All right. So the next one we got on the ticket, we got the Washington Nasties coming into the Milwaukee Brewers. Washington has Max Scherzer on the mound. Milwaukee has Jungmann. Washington minus 160 juice with an under-over of 7.5, brother. What you got there?
This is me. So Jungmann is 1-0 with a 1.29. Again, another rookie pitcher, right?
Yep.
He had 1 start. It was at Pittsburgh. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, only allowed run. Only a walk and 5 strikeouts.
Okay.
I really, really, really want to go Milwaukee again today, but I'm not. What do we got for an over-under here?
I was looking at 7.5, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under.
You're going with the under with a rookie, huh?
Good. Yeah. But Washington's bats don't scare me at all.
Yeah, not recently.
Washington's bats, no. And I understand that they could come alive, right? There is that chance. And Milwaukee's bad, but there's something about Youngman who... I mean, dude, if you look at his minor league career, and I know it's not the same, and then you come up in your first starts against a really good Pirates team, and you shut them down. You absolutely shut them down. I expect him to be able to do that again. And I don't know if Bryce Harper is playing today. Remember, he got hit in the knee by a pitch and exited the game.
Oh, okay, and Ryan Zimmerman's out too, so
right. He's been injured, so I'm gonna go under here, and I'm gonna lock it in before that changes.
Think it'll come down to 7?
Yeah, I think it will.
All right, man. Hey, I wish you the best of luck with that one as well. I'm having a hard time finding something today, man. I'm kind of feeling the stanks. That's about it. Next game I got on the ticket, I got the Seattle Mariners coming into the Houston Astros. Kid, Seattle laid it to smack it down yesterday, man. My God. I guess they were a little pissed off after losing 9-0 in the game before that. Houston minus 145 with an under-over of 8. What you got there?
Yeah, so why is MLB.com not here? Where is that game? Where is that? All right. Not seeing that game on MLB.com for some reason. There we go. Yep. Sorry. We got Elias for Seattle, 3-3 with a 2.79 against McCullers, who's 2-1 with a 2.32 for Houston. I'm really leaning the Astros here today.
You are, huh?
Yeah, I mean, McCullers, in his last time out, he kind of got bit by some bad luck. I mean, he only gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs. The start before that, remember, he had a complete game against Baltimore, 4 hits and 1 earned. I think now the tables are turned back, and I don't think Seattle's offense, no matter what they did yesterday, and I thought that was going to happen, which is why I took them, they're still garbage.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're still garbage. They're not going to do anything close to that, especially in Houston. Yeah, I'm all over the Astros here. I think Elias for Seattle, he's been good, right? But 3-3 with a 2.79, he is not getting any run support.
No.
He's not getting any run support. And you can get to him. This Houston team will be one of the best lineups he's faced all year. And yeah, man, I'm riding Houston today.
One thing I did not know. I didn't realize that the Houston Astros, even though they strike out a lot, they are number 1 in home runs in the league, dude.
And that's the thing. If you are going to strike out a lot, you have to be in the top 5 in homers.
Definitely.
It's a very risk-reward type of offense. But I remember some Yankees teams that won some World Series that struck out a lot and hit a lot of homers. And, like I said, I think Houston, with some of the guys that they're bringing up, will hit for some more average. I mean, they have guys that get on base. And they do strike. They still have a lot of power guys that strike out a lot. But I think that offense is going to be sustainable, at least through this season.
You know what's crazy is that they're 24th in the league in on base percentage, Dan. The Houston Astros. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is crazy. It's bad, but the thing is I think that number goes way up because you're going to see a lot of these guys. These pitchers do not want to face them. You're going to start seeing, the treatment. They're going to be intentionally walked. And the thing is, a lot of these guys strike out, but they strike out. They don't have like holes in their swing necessarily. It's just like these guys seem to swing at everything, so they could use a little more discipline. But if they either make a trade for like a nice pure average guy or something like that, we'll see. It might work out.
Dan, you may think I'm crazy here, but I'm liking the under in this game.
You like the under?
I like the under because Houston. Dude, at home, they don't really score a lot of runs, man. 3.71 runs a game at home. And then on the road, they want to go ham.
It's an 8 number. It's an 8. If it was a 9 or an 8.5, maybe. I know what you're saying. And I agree that if you're going to make a play on the total, that's where you go, actually. But, man, I don't know. I feel like Houston could go out there and be like, hit 5 home runs in the first 5 innings.
Yeah. I'm leaning that under, man. I will get back to you guys on it, but I look at Seattle's bats. I mean, yesterday they came to life, and then Houston the game before that. But you know what? I just see them kind of just going through the motions today, man. I really, really am looking at that. So I'll get back to you guys later on, but that's kind of something I'm taking a look at. That in the I can't believe I'm saying this stinks, but Houston 1-8 straight up in the last 9 games, kid. Nasty.
I know, but it is the Mariners.
It is the Mariners. You're right, and the Mariners surprisingly, dude, on the road 6-2 in the last 8 on the road.
Yeah,
very interesting. All right, so I'm looking at the under there, man. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the K-Sizzle Royals coming into the St. Lucia Cards. K-Sizzle has Chris Young on the mound. St. Lucia has John Lackey. St. Lucia minus 130 with an under-over of 7. Kid, the Cards at home, huh? My God.
The Cards, I was talking to my dad about this yesterday because, my brother, one of my brothers came over as well to celebrate my other brother, and he's not a huge baseball guy, and he's like, what division's the best? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, they're all kind of mediocre. And then you have the Cardinals, who are 20 games over 500, who I couldn't have misjudged more. That was probably my biggest error for preseason futures. Young though for Kansas City has been unreal. I mean, 5-2 with the 2.25. Lackey's been mediocre, 4-4 with a 3.74. Chris Young, as of late, has come down to earth, right? He got rocked by the Yankees. He got rocked by Cleveland. He did go 6 1/3 shutout innings with 1 hit ball at Minnesota last time out. So maybe he's coming back, coming back to being good Chris Young. But Lackey, man, his last 2 starts, he's gotten rocked. He at home against Milwaukee, 7 innings, but he gave 10 hits and 3 earned runs. And then his last start at Colorado, which I know Colorado can happen to anybody, but 4 innings, 12 hits, 8 earned. I can't, like I said yesterday, if you're not going to bet the Cardinals at home, you stay away from the game. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I lean Kansas City, but like 55-45. Okay. That's it. And I'm not going to touch it because that's just a game that's going to drive you crazy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, you can't, like you said, you can't bet against them at home. You know what I'm saying? So I concur with that, Dan. I think it's I don't see K-Sizzle getting swept, but, you just can't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's really hard, dude. 24-7 at home.
Unbelievable. And you know what? The
24/7.
minute you start riding that is when they'll start losing too. So you got to kind
Yeah,
of
I mean, but on the road they're 17-14, which is unreal. Their last 10, they're 7-3. They've won 3 in a row. Man, it's just crazy. They're that good. They're that crazy good.
Yeah, $100 better. You got big money with them. It's like $1,700.
Dude, I mean, and this is after realistically, no Shelby Miller trade, and you lose Wainwright.
Unreal.
Like, unbelievable. That organization is just the tops. It's probably the best organization in baseball.
Absolutely.
By far.
Absolutely. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the Minnesota Twins coming into the Texas Rangers. Minnesota. Talk to me about this one, brother. I like this Rangers team, man.
I know you do. And here's the other thing. Today is right. It is the premiere of Mr. Buxton.
Oh, okay.
Like, Byron Buxton will be coming up for his major league debut for the Twins today. This kid is... but it's too bad that it's going to end on a bad note for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because Texas is going to clobber Minnesota today.
Oh, you think Philip Hughes is going to get his ass kicked, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, Martinez is 5-2 with a 2.65. Hughes is 4-6 with a 4.81, and he's looked bad. Minnesota. These are teams that are completely trending the opposite ways. I mean, you have Minnesota that at one point I think they were 12 games over 500,
right?
And now they're down to 5 games over 500. His last 3 starts out, Phil Hughes has gotten absolutely manhandled. Home against Boston, 6 2/3, 6 hits and 4 earned. At Boston, only 4 1/3, 11 hits and 5 earned. And then Kansas City, he did pitch in the 8th inning, but still gave up 7 hits and 3 earned. Nick Martinez, on the other hand, he did get that one game on June 3rd where he got lit up by the White Sox at home. But other than that, the game before that, 2 earned over 7 innings against Boston. And then his last start out at Oakland, he shut him out. So, I don't know, Oakland is a pitiful team, but, it shows that he has bounce back. This Rangers offense is good.
Oh, they're real good, man. Putting up 11 spot yesterday, kid.
Yeah, they're good. And, that's why. I mean, how can I not be on Texas today at -111?
Dan,
104.
Have you seen this injury report for the Texas Rangers? Like, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pitchers on the DL, kid.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to say it. Like, if your guy isn't hurt for the season, you almost want him hurt now.
Right.
Every baseball team goes through injuries, and Texas is able to withstand these types of injuries, and still they're 5 games over 500 and on an uptrend. I mean, hey, it sucks, but Minnesota, again, like I said, just the other way.
They were who we thought they were.
Exactly. No Cinderellas in baseball, baby.
They killed us last week, man. That was the only loss on Saturday. Dude, I had a parlay that paid crazy money, and they blew it up. All right, so let's continue with this, guys. You know what? This Texas team, I'm feeling you. I just don't know if I'm going to bet it, Dan. I'll be honest with you. But, hey, we'll see what happens. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the Oakland A's at the L.A. Angels. Oakland has Mr. Sonny Gray on the mound coming into L.A. with Schumacher. Oakland -117 with an under-over of 7.
Yeah, and Sonny Gray has been that bright spot for Oakland, obviously.
Right.
7-3 with a 1.74. Schumacher, like most of the other Angels pitchers, is mediocre at best. 4-4 with a 4.86. I like Oakland here. I don't think I'm going to take it. At -110 on the road, I know it's Sonny Gray. I love Sonny Gray. He's been real good lately. His last 3 starts at home against the Yankees, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned. At Detroit, 8 innings, 2 hits, no earned. And then Texas, 8 hits and only 2 earned over 6 innings. He's been better on the road, which is why I like them. And Schumacher lately has been pretty good too, though. I mean, he shut out San Diego. He only gave 1 run against Detroit at home, and then at Tampa Bay, 2 earned. I'm going to stay away from this.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to stay away from this, but part of me really wants to take the Oakland Athletics here.
Dude, $100 better on the Oakland A's. You're down 2 G's, kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
brutal.
And, they've been so bad.
Yeah, I know.
So bad.
I know. And let's see, they're 2-6 in the last 8 games and 0-5 in the last 5 on the road, kid. The Angels, surprisingly, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games. Dude, I still say the Angels come out of that division. I keep saying it, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think
Angels,
so.
So you think the Astros, huh?
I do.
Didn't you take a plus 4,000 for them to win the division?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little
but the thing is the Astros have better pitching and better hitting. They don't hit for average better, obviously, but I'm really curious to see what happens at the trade deadline because the Astros have very, very, very little salary on the books. A lot of these guys are young, up-and-coming guys. So what I'm curious about is maybe they bring in someone like I'm not saying that but bring in someone like a Daniel Murphy, from like the Mets, some guy that will not hit for power, but will not strike out at all, and will get you 180 to 200 hits. Maybe they look for that contact-driven player. They get that on-base percentage up, man. And that pitching, like I said, has been lights out. I'm not I think the Angels make a wild card. And call me crazy, I still think that we're going to hear something from the Mariners before it's all said and done. I'm not saying it's going to be enough. We're going to hear something.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, if you get that plus 4,000 for them to win the AL West, man, that's really stellar, Dan. I gotta be honest with you. All right, but taking a look at this, man. I mean, I say the wild card that comes out of there. I don't want to say wild. The surprise team might be the Texas Rangers when they get healthy.
That's the thing that and even though they're not healthy, that's the crazy thing about baseball is, you have Oakland in the cellar and you have Texas, who I thought was going to be garbage, doing okay. I don't think that any team out of the West, can win the World Series, though. But then again, I don't see anybody that has that great pitching. I think actually the Astros might have one of the better rotations, when you look around the AL.
Well, you could start hedging that now, bro.
Yeah, I definitely could. I mean, you can get rid of every team in the AL East. They can't pitch. The Central has some decent pitching. If Verlander stays healthy for the Tigers, and obviously Sale, guys like that. But, then the West, it's like, you got a few guys that are really good, and that's about it.
All right. Sounds good, man. Let's keep it moving. We got 3 more games. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks coming into the San Francisco Giants. Arizona has Robbie De La Rosa on the mound. San Fran has Chris Heston. San Fran minus 145 with an under-over of 7.5.
Oh, Mr. Charlton
rough
Chris
series.
Heston.
Yeah, rough series here.
Yeah, and this is Heston coming off his no-hitter against my Mets.
Yes.
Always wonderful.
Yep.
So that's why I really want to fade him.
Really?
But, yeah. I mean, come off a no-hitter, man. Especially, you throw a lot of pitches. And here's the thing with Heston, right? He's either been unbelievable or absolute garbage. There's like no middle ground with him.
How do Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, in the last 3 games, he had a great game against Atlanta. Then he got smoked by the Pirates. Then the no-hitter against the Mets. So I'm kind of looking at it now, and I'm like, well, I think the Diamondbacks might smoke him.
Dude, let me ask you a question. Guys that come off a no-hitter, how do they perform usually the next day? Or their next outing, I should say.
Recently, I mean, and I would have to look this up. This is off the eye test, but recently not well. Because your starting pitchers are not conditioned anymore, to throw even 120, 130 pitches. So, when you're talking about a guy that goes out there and throws a ton of pitches, and then he's going to come out on regular rest, it definitely affects them. I mean, hey, back in the day, even up until like the mid '90s, when guys were conditioned to throw even 150 pitches if they had to, it was different. But that's why. I mean, I'm gonna fade it. And then, like I said, if you look back through Heston's whole season, right, and you look at the earned runs given up, it's like good game, bad game, good game, bad game, like the whole way through the season. So on April 24th, 6 earned, then 1 earned, 5 earned, then 1 earned. 5 earned, 6 earned, shutout, 5 earned, no hitter. So man, I'm actually I'm gonna roll the dice here. I'm rolling dice, and I'm gonna go Arizona at plus 139.
I think I'm taking the over here, Dan.
Not a bad play.
7.5, dude.
That's not a bad play.
De La Rosa with a 5.84 ERA, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, they know how to hit the ball, dude.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is De La Rosa's also been bad in his last 3 starts. Like, bad.
Gotta play it. Gotta take the over here.
Yeah.
I'm all over it, man. Arizona 4.57 runs a game. San Francisco 4.10. And taking a look at San Francisco, I mean, they were really bad at the beginning of the season. But, dude, surprisingly, the Giants are only scoring 3 runs a game at home. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big ballpark. They had injuries to the lineup, and they have guys not performing as they should at home, and that's really what it comes down to.
All right, yeah, I'm taking a look at it. AT&T Park. There was only 107 homers hit there in 2014.
Yeah, it's huge. Like I said, it feels.
Got it.
That ballpark in San Diego are big ballparks.
So does that sway you a little bit off of the over or no?
A little bit. If both, like I said, Heston obviously great start, but it's like every other start for him. I think he gives up 5 or 6, and okay. I think De La Rosa will give up 4 or 5 in his own right.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a bats-driven game, but I'm on Arizona too because I think their bats are gonna come up a little bigger today.
All right, 2 more games left on the ticket, guys. We got the LA Dodgers coming into the San Diego Padres. LA has Mike Bolsinger on the mound. San Diego has Big Game Shields. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under/over of 7.
Yeah,
kid, they Big Game Shields 7-0, bro.
I know 7-0, and that's why. You're sitting there and you're like, well, I gotta take him at even money, right? Bolsinger, I mean, this guy's just kind of. I mean, this kid was a 15th round draft pick, 451st overall, out of Arkansas in 2010, and I don't know what's going on with him this year. It's crazy. His last 3 starts though. At St. Louis, 2 earned. At Colorado, 4 earned. And home against Arizona, 2 earned. I got to ride Big Game James Shields here. I just have to do it.
Okay.
At home. I think he gets it done. Again, 7-0. His team has found a way to score runs behind him. Also, dude, he has 98 strikeouts in 80 and 2/3 innings.
It's unbelievable.
Like, that's 1.2 strikeouts an inning. That's insane.
So let me ask you a question, Dan. Now, you're the baseball guy. Now, why is it trend or coincidence that some of these teams like perform offensively way better for certain pitchers than others?
There's a lot of theories out there. And there's, when you have an ace on the mound, normally you see less runs scored. Because here's the thing, too, right? Normally your ace will go up against another ace, the way the rotations kind of line up.
Yep.
So there's that. And also sometimes guys feel like, like you see this with Johan Santana all the time, even when the Mets were scoring, bludgeoning teams with the bats back then. And it would be, Santana would come on the mound and it'd be like, they'd lose a game 2-1. And you're like, what the hell? And it's like, oh, they just didn't have their foot all the way on the pedal because they expect them to throw a shutout every time out. So there's that. There's the fact that you're going to face another good pitcher more than likely. And, I don't know. I mean, there's so many theories out there, but some guys just get snake bit.
Yeah, some guys get taken out for dinner.
But James Shields, throughout his whole career, no matter who he's played for, has always gotten run support.
Yeah.
Always gotten run support, which is why at even money and 7-0, I know it's the Dodgers, but this game is at San Diego. I'm on the Padres.
All right, man. Final game we got on the ticket, we got the Cincinnati Reds at the Chicago Cubs. Cincinnati has how do you pronounce this dude's name here?
Let's see.
Is it DeSclafani?
DeSclafani.
DeSclafani, okay. And Chicago has John Lester. Chicago minus 160. We do not have a total on this game yet. What you got here, Dan?
Yeah, I actually see right now an over. You can get it at 7.5.
Okay.
7.5, which, depending on the way it goes, that's like throwing some dice. The way it happens to be tonight by taking it now. Oh, God, I lean Chicago, but Lester has been so bad. I mean, he had that one good start against Washington, which, like I said, Washington's offense is garbage. And then he got lit up by the Marlins on the road. He got lit up by Detroit on the road. I mean, he's only gone 9 1/3 innings in his last 2 starts, and he gave up 18 hits and 11 runs.
Yeah, he's been, I've taken him at home and done pretty well with him this year.
I know, and he is at home. DeSclafani hasn't been bad, though. I mean, his last 3 starts, 2 of them are coming against Philadelphia and 1 against Washington, so I guess you can't really tell because those are bad offenses. But, man, I'm going to stay away from this game. I'm going to just fall back.
I concur, man. Taking a look at this, the total's gone over in 11 of the last 14 Cincinnati games, Dan. But Cincinnati, dude, in the last 13 on the road, 2-11, kid.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I expected Cincinnati to make a run at some point this season. They were my underdog Central team, and they just they're not going to do it. And St. Louis is going to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. All right, Dan. So that does it for the MLB card, kid. So I'd like for you to recap what you're on. I will do the same, and then we will get out of here, kid. I'm going to the casino, man. They got this big barbecue festival in the parking lot.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, kid. I've been watching that show that show with where they do the contest. It's almost like Chopped. But it's for barbecue.
Masters or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like
Masters.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that, man. So.
Oh man, yeah. If I wasn't 2.5 hours away from them, I'd be up there with you.
Oh, you would have definitely gotten the invite. I figured you were too far away from there, man. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know me, man. I could eat barbecue for days. That's why I went down south just to eat barbecue. But anyway, yeah. Let's recap what I got today, guys. So. Just in order, and these are already locked in. So we're going to go the Tigers money line. We got the Boston, Toronto over 8.5. New York, Baltimore. The Stanks in Baltimore over. We're doing the Phils at plus 140. Nats and Brewers under. Astros at minus 131. Rangers money line. Arizona Diamondbacks money line and the over, and the Padres money line.
Wow. Well, all right. So the only game that I'm on with you is the Arizona San Francisco over 7.5. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit more homework and put it out in a little bit, guys. But here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 3 games. I've got the Arizona San Francisco over. I've got the New York Stanks money line, and I'm looking at the Seattle Houston under. I know you hate that, but that's what I'm looking at, brother.
No, it's not that I hate it. It's, hey. If I was going to go anywhere, I'd go under. I just am personally going to stay away.
All right, gotcha, man. But, hey, it is what it is, guys. So, all right. So, we want to thank you very much for listening on a Sunday morning. We're ready to rock here, man. Ready to get it going. Big ups to everybody that's out there on Twitter right now, man. I got Rick Lopez telling me about the Astros. He said they got a few more aces to bring up from the farm.
Yeah, they do.
Well. All right, I got Vegas Girl 92661. I've got, let's see, I got Marlon. I got Mile High Picker. What's going on? Jay Cast getting to a check. I got Christopher Campese. Welcome to the party, man. Ciroc King J. I got Zay out there. Arthur Ashy. Got my man Jonesy. Good morning to you guys. Get a Vegas bookie as well. Jason Riley, Spot Bet. Winning Picks, Benjamin Rowe. Soccer's Finest, OJFB. Good morning to you guys. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we appreciate it, man. So we are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. during the week, 10 a.m. on the weekends. Guys, go out there. Go easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Try to, just remember, baseball's streaky, You can go on a 15-0 run coming up. So, hey, or you can go on a, 1-12 skid as well. But just, stick with it, stay in there, follow it every day, and get that money. Take care.
Peace.